Good evening, everyone. I'm CA Meenakshi Jain. I welcome you all on behalf of Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICI. I welcome all the participants in today's webcast, Mind Over Matters, Empowering CAs with Psychological Capital. First of all, I would like to welcome today's resource, Mr. Govind Mishra sir, for giving his valuable time to us. Also, I would like to welcome Mr. Jay Chairia sir for joining us as today's session. He is Chairman PSEC ICI. Also, Mr. Abhay Hajer sir, Vice Chairman, will also join us in a couple of minutes. So first of all, with due respect, I would like to invite Jay Chairia sir to address us with his deliberation on this session. We look forward to hear you, sir.
Hi there.
Thank you very much, Meenakshi. Yeah. A very good evening to all of you. Our today's learned speaker, Govind Mishra ji, Secretary of the Committee, Dr. Sambit Mishra ji, Moderator, Meenakshi Jain, and all my dear friends, once again, a very good evening. And Professional Skills Enrichment Committee is a very unique committee. Friends, direct tax, indirect tax, international tax, for all these things we have committees, corporate law, other laws, allied laws, we have committees. But in the recent years, we have understood that along with the logic, we have to ensure that we have management skills also. We have a mindset. It's very, very important to develop a mindset also. Along with knowledge, attitude also matters. It is rightly said that more than your aptitude, it is your attitude which determines your altitude. Now, this is the theme with which Professional Skills Enrichment Committee is working. Dozens of skills are required for professionals. See, a professional is not only a person. Gone are the days, right, where professional only is would mean having domain expertise. Well, domain expertise, you cannot have any compromise on that. No compromise. If you are into GST, be excellent into GST. If you are into corporate law, be excellent into that. But gone are the days when these skills were enough. Today, it is more a mind game. It's a very, very, look at the lifestyle that we are living. Look at it. Look at the exposure we have. We have global exposure. We are running here and there throughout the day. We are meeting different type of people. Earlier, I used to work only in the local background with only a few people. Today, the entire globe is there. Different people with different mindset, different requirement. So it is very, very essential that I develop skills other than only domain expertise. And that is the theme of Professional Skills Enrichment Committee. Fortunately, we are in a position to invite good speakers, and we have started a series of webinars, and hopefully will this year go with a series of 100 webinars. Today is a very, very interesting topic. Of course, an interesting speaker. Govind is going to enlighten us on this very, very, very crucial topic of mind over matter. This is very important. And this topic relates with the psychological capital, or maybe we can say sky cap, whatever, Govind is a better person to deal with that technically. What I understand is when you talk about this psychological capital, at least what comes to my mind is at least 3 to 4 important points that one can keep in mind is hope, right? Hope is a very important thing. See, as we say that law of attraction or something like that, what you talk about, see, it is not just wishful thinking. It is not like what we say, Mungeri Lal ke Haseen Sapne, used to say like that, but it's a goal-directed energy and a proactive planning. This is a very important thing that we chartered accountants should possess. Same is efficacy. That is the confidence. Of course, confidence without any clarity can be a disaster, can be an utmost disaster. So having the clarity of thought, having the clarity, what your clients need, what is your requirement, right? What is the requirement of the society? Because we are dealing with, so many people and serving the nation, serving the clients, serving the industry, and of course, serving our own interest. So having the clarity, confidence based out of clarity. So it is not shooting in darkness, of course. So self-confidence, one's ability to take on and succeed in various tasks. See, we have to be taskmasters. It's very, very essential. So how to develop that, I'm sure Govinji is going to cover. Next is resilience. Resilience. See, for professionals, and why professionals? For any person who wants to reach height, one has to understand, as you keep on moving higher plateau, naturally, gravitation is going to increase. You are going to face many challenges. If you don't want to face challenges, be happy at the bottom. If you go at the top, well and good. The life is going to be full of challenges, and believe me, challenges make it interesting. Meenakshi, you must have seen that, while playing video game also, the children enjoy playing it more and more as the level increases. So challenges will be there. But if there are no challenges, there is no growth, there is no development, and there is no, you can say the life is not there. So resilience, the capacity to bounce back from adversity and failure, that is one very important lesson for any professional. Why chartered accountant can be out of that. So this is one very important in today's world. Today's world, it is very, very important. Just look at it. A young chartered accountant completes his chartered accountancy. Earlier, he used to be there in his local place. Today, somebody is at Bangalore, somebody is Hyderabad, somebody is at Dubai, and somebody, keeps on running to different cities. So different people, different cities, different culture, right? And this city environment, full-time running, maybe it might create anxiety. Maybe at times you fail. That's not a question. That is perfectly fine, right? As it is said that you are not drowned by being into water, right? Continuing to be there in water will drown you. So it's perfectly fine, optimism. Optimism. This is another very, very important thing that, mind over matter, when we talk about this optimism, a different outlook. See, the same thing, different people will take in different ways. Govindji, a few years back, I was listening to one speaker and he told me that a story of two twin brothers. One was a very gentleman, very dedicated, very sincere, very soft, very honest. The other one was, should I say, in nutshell, a rascal. So one interviewer was interviewing both of them. So the first one he interviewed that, how is it so that you drink, right? You are always into liquor, you smoke a lot, you use abusive language, you are like this. He said, my father was always into drinks. He was always drunk. He used to come home, beat my mother. He was very abusive in his language. All these things I've seen from my childhood, and believe me, what else do I become? Now, the second one was interviewed. Sir, how are you so honest? How are you so polite, so soft-spoken? See, my father was like this. And I decided from the very beginning, I am not going to do this. Who better than me can understand the importance of that? So the same thing is there. How you take optimism? That is the question. It is said that two men look beyond the bar. One saw the mud, other the stars. So optimism, that is very, very crucial. And I think that all these things are so very important today. So along with the domain expertise, along with the craving to serve the nation, our clients, if the right mindset is there, we'll serve the society in the best possible way. Along with that, we'll enjoy life. Fortunately, I am the chairman of another committee, Work-Life Balance Committee. That is also a new committee. And I believe that it's not only enough to serve the clients, it is equally important to serve the society, the nation, and the most important person, serving our interest also, always doing all these things joyfully. So I think our today's topic is very, very important. Mind over matter, the psychological capital. And we have a very interesting speaker, Govindji. Govindji has been very kind enough. As and when this committee requires him, actually I say requires him, he's always there and will keep on taking his advantage in future also. And friends, I hope that today is going to be a wonderful learning for all of you, including me, of course. I also to be learner, a student always. And with this, I hand over to Meenakshi. Meenakshi, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. After listening to you, sir, I just want to say few lines. In gathered minds and open heart, a session starts where insight charts with voices shared and wisdom so deep. He saw the thoughts that we shall read. So, sir, you started this seminar with such a thoughtful way. Thank you for articulating the perspective for today's session in such a clarity and simple way that everyone will be helpful. It has truly set the tone for the meaningful discussion which we are going to take it ahead. Thank you so much. Now, introduction, Govind sir के लिए. Mr. Govind Mishra sir is a seasoned corporate trainer and learning development specialist over 15 years of rich experience in facilitating impactful training sessions for diverse industries. Known for his engaging style, storytelling, and result-oriented approach, Govindji has trained thousands of professionals ranging from entry level to the leadership roles. He specializes in designing customized programs that enhance the productivity, communication, leadership, and team synergy. Over to you, Govind sir. We would like to hear you.
Thank you, Meenakshi ji. It was wonderful listening to you. And जय सर कहते हैं कि शुरुआत ही आग लगा दी. So it was a wonderful moment for me. I was mesmerized and I was infected by your positive energy. And I just wish that everybody has this amazing infectious energy level always. And I brought my rocket today for the launching, but I could see that, Jay sir, you have ignited the fuel. And definitely, the gravitational force is not going to hold the rocket right now. And our audiences who are listening to us, definitely they will be glued. All credit goes to you for this amazing beginning. And my task has been 99% completed by you. So the 1% I'll be sharing with my audience over here. Thank you for that impetus and impact on the audience in the beginning. So all the ladies and gentlemen over here, whom I could see and who are invisible in our hearts, and a very good evening to you all. It's an amazing moment. The scorching heat of May month in North India, and that amazing sunny side outside where nobody wants to go outside. But yes, the chilling effect of the air conditioner where we are sitting right now in your offices, in your home, about to make a cocktail of the physical and the mental energies of our life. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to showcase what I have for you today. So let's start the journey to the infinity. Matter, a particle of which everybody is made of. And in our world, matter has different forms. Nowadays, the concept of hedonism has taken over most of the places of our life. Hedonism means seeking pleasure. Pleasure of either the senses or the objects we love to buy. And we have been bombarded with numerous matters. We have experienced the fusion and fission of not nuclear, but the commodities around us. Our entire body, if we divide it in numbers, so I would say this portion is approximately 20% of the body, and below the neck is 80%. But the beauty of the Homo sapiens, the evolved Homo sapiens today, the humans we are today, our beauty is the 20% portion of the body, which is responsible for most of the developments in our life, most of the things, most of the earnings we have in our life. It is the 20% provides us. And the 80% health, it is like an catalyst which tries to give you the way. But yes, the 20% is the main charioteer. We humans, we spend our income on the 80% part. And the small, minuscule part of our income is spent over here. And that is how we could see that we have been experiencing a lot of turbulences, lot of obstacles, and that too, the mental one. Ladies and gentlemen, today, I'm here just as a charioteer, so that I can take you on the path of the Ranakshetra of the Mahabharata, where the mind and the matter are standing in front of each other. We are having a fight every day. Nobody knows which is going to win or which is going to lose. But yes, if the mind wins, it can give you a lot of positive impacts. But if the matter wins, you will be having a lot of commodities, you'll be having a lot of money, you'll be having a lot of things around you. But what about the peace? What about the serendipity? What about the silence? And in today's world, what I have experienced, silence is a luxury. Silence indeed is a luxury. We chartered accountants, the moment we step into our profession as a student, and the moment we get the degree, and the moment we meet our first client, and the moment we get the first check, and the moment the first smile of holding the first check, the first income because of the degree. And then when you start spending that money on yourself, on your family, on people around you, you feel happy. But if I ask you, is that happiness called LTCG, long-term capital gain? Because some people, they say that that happiness is just STCG, short-term capital gain. But when you get the happiness through the mind, definitely, it is a fixed deposit, having zero risk. It is a kind of bond where the beta is zero, where you have a peace in your mind. Your mind controls everything. So let you be controlled by the mind. And for that, we should know what actually the mind is and how is it helpful for the chartered accountants. Today, we are going to start the journey on PsyCap, psychological capital, because you are the experts of economic capital. Who better than you can analyze economic capital? Who better than you can generate economic capital? But let's start generating some psychological capital as well. A great Lord, Lord Krishna, the best example of a psychotherapist, a psychologist, and his first disciple, his first client, the great warrior Arjun. When he was standing in the battlefield, he was in a dilemma. He was confused. He was about to drop his Gandiv, and he was about to lose everything he had. He was disheartened. And then in Gita, one of the shlok, Lord Krishna told, Arjuna, it is your mind. It is a mind which is your friend, and it is a mind which is your enemy. Choose wisely. Do you want a friend forever, or do you want an enemy forever? And keep in mind, Arjun, hey Parth, the choice is always yours. The choice is always yours. And ladies and gentlemen, the choice is always yours. Do you want your mind to become a friend? Whenever you require that friend is always standing beside you, behind you, in front of you. Or else, do you require an enemy who is always engulfing you? Who is always creating a labyrinth around you, the Chakravyuh? And later on, the life becomes very chaotic. Capital. You all are pretty aware of capital. The moment we started our professional journey in the field of commerce, I believe the first definition we came across was business. And in business, we were very excited about the profit. But along with the profit, we were very much in need of capital. And capital, as a layman, if I say, it is the value which is added to the currency. And that capital creates every business around us. That is the capital because of which the economies are running today. The financial assets we have as an organization or as an individual, it includes all the plant and machinery and everything. And you are the experts of analyzing these type of capital. Today, we are going for a different capital called the psychological capital. You all are aware that the economic capital is always measured. It has different factors to measure the economic capital. In terms of nations, we have the GDPs. In terms of individuals and organizations, we do the valuations. We try to find out the net worth. But is it possible to measure the psychological capital? And keep in mind, psychological capital, it is like an intangible asset which is inside us. It is the inner asset. And if it is an asset, then definitely it can be measured. I request you all, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 5 minutes, please do hold a pen and a paper. Some slides are coming in front of you, which needs your engagement. We are going to do a self-analysis so that we can understand the self, so that we can head towards the well-being of the self and the other self and the selves around us. So are you excited and are you ready for it? So let's go to the next slide. The behavioral criteria which we'll be following, and rightly spoken by our chairman, sir, he spoke about HERO. Tum mein hai hero, the hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism. We'll be discussing these 4 factors in an elaborated manner. But before that, let's understand where we are standing today. What is our worth today? And do we possess the right amount of psychological capital? And that's why I require your 100% dedicated attention for the next 5 to 10 minutes. We have a set of 12 questions. In the form of a questionnaire. These questions have been psychologically created to analyze where are we in aspects of psychological capital. So we have 5 options: strongly agree, disagree, neutral, and agree and strongly agree. Choose your option, choose your answer wisely. Do it for yourself and give the numbers for yourself and do justice to yourself. The first question: I can think of multiple ways to achieve my most important work goals. If you are doing this, then give yourself 5. If it is a bit less, 4, then 3, and then 2. And if we are not doing this, strongly disagree. 1 for strongly disagree, and for strongly agree, give yourself 5 points. Second question: even when things are uncertain, I believe I will find a way to succeed. Do you all recall that moment when we went for the exams first time? And some people could clear, some people couldn't clear. But yes, the beauty of this profession is nobody is like going to quit it because they know there's one more chance. After every May, there was a November. After every May, there was a November. After every November, there was a May. And nowadays, the things have changed in 3 ways. We have January, we have May, and we have November, September. So do we think that if I used to study during my student life and my clarity was uncertain, I was not sure what I'm studying. Do you recall yourself finding different ways to understand the concept? And are you doing the same today in your professional life as well? So again, for this also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Third question, I said clear and meaningful goals that give me direction. Let me a bit clear. My philosophy of life is I preach what I practice. I'm not here to just give a preaching, because preaching, nobody requires it. And if I'm just preaching, gathering some content from social media or from YouTube or from Google and just passing it to you, it is of no use. It is just passing the garbage. So if I'm using these questions, be sure, sir, I have been through these phases of life. I have been through these dilemmas of life as well. And I have understood, I have experienced these questions in my life as well. And I'm pretty sure of my audience as well. So question number 3, I said clear and meaningful goals that give me direction. And you all are aware goals are pretty much required. If we are playing a soccer or football match, and if there's no goal post, it is not a match, it is just a chaos, because the players are confused. Where do we need to shot the ball? And the audience are confused. What's going on? And there's no use of a referee because they are not going to give judgments. Next point number 4. I feel confident in my ability to handle unexpected problems at work. And yes, this point, I strongly believe most of the youngsters, when they start their professional journey, either in the form of practice or employment or in the consultancy field, I believe everybody had been through this phase of life, handling unexpected problems at work. The WHO has announced a new kind of pandemic very soon. It is going to be a pandemic, and that's called the burnout syndrome. And the unexpected part of the professional life is one of the factors which is leading to burnout syndrome. And the data says a huge number of Indian, and that too youngsters, are undergoing burnout syndrome because they are not able to handle the unexpected situations of life or the unexpected problems they're facing at the work. But yes, I'm sure you all have experienced it, and you definitely must have found some other ways to find the solution. Point number 5, I can perform most tasks effectively even when under pressure. Who better than you can understand the deadlines, the dates, not the romantic one, but the compliance dates, the regulatory dates, the ITR dates, the GST dates, and before the professional life, the exam dates and the result dates. We have faced lot of pressures. And we were the carbon who were lying deep inside the earth, and suddenly we had a lot of pressures. The beauty of that pressure was the carbon became diamond, not a charcoal, not a coal. And I could see all the diamonds shining in front of me. And I have faith on you that point number 5, you must have given a high five for yourself. 6, I believe I can take on and succeed in challenging assignments. Now, this is very individualistic question because not everybody can face challenges. Psychological factor says that when humans face challenges, they have the flight or the fright mode. They have fright or flight mode. Somebody takes a back step and somebody takes a forward step. Sometimes, I'm so sorry. So sometimes the challenges either makes us or sometimes the challenges breaks us. Who are you? And where are you standing in the form of challenges? Are you the one who has succeeded? Are you the one who took the challenges proactively? And are you the one who took a step forward? If yes, give yourself again a high five. 7, I can recover quickly from setbacks or disappointments at work. Ladies and gentlemen, you all could recall March 2020. The day Prime Minister announced the lockdown. Initially, everybody was happy, enjoying at home, cooking different things, enjoying their hobbies. But when the lockdown was stretched suddenly, that small vacation became like a prison. We were imprisoned in our own houses. And it was a setback for a lot many people. Imagine the person who started a business on a leased property in December 2019. He started the business, he was excited, he had a lot of dreams, he was about to plan a family. And suddenly, March 2020 came. But yes, he had a faith. He thought it's a phase, it will pass on. So he paid the rent for the entire month. But yes, again, the lockdown was rescheduled. He paid again rent for 1 month. 2-3 months he could handle. But at the end, quite possible that a lot many people could not take that crisis, that setback, and they dropped the idea of businesses. Now, quite possible for the entire lifetime, they won't be having the guts to start the business again. This is the real setback people have faced. Imagine the professionals having a wonderful, flourishing practice. And suddenly, during the COVID period, a lot many things changed. A lot many clients lost their businesses. And when a client loses a business, definitely it's a direct loss to us as well. It was a setback. We were disappointed. But it is rightly said, "Tu na rukega kabhi, tu na thakega kabhi, kar shapat, kar shapat, kar shapat, Agnipat, Agnipat, Agnipat." So have you been on that Agnipat? Have you been cleansed by that fire? The fire of disappointment and setbacks? If yes, give yourself a high five again. 8, when faced with the crisis, I managed to stay calm and focused. Easy to say, but difficult to practice. Easy to say, but difficult to practice, because Homo sapiens, the evolution process has made us like that. We are the one who always thinks of survival instinct. Whenever something happens to us which we don't want, our brain goes in the survival mode. And it is difficult to remain calm and focused in that situation. But yes, there are people who have practiced this art of calmness. And they are always focused. They have a small smile in their face. They don't shout a lot. They don't brag. They don't drag things. But yes, they remain calm. They remain focused. And they remain solution-oriented. 9, I grow stronger and wiser after facing work-related difficulties. And you all would vouch this point. Because the day, you remember the first day of your professional life, your office, when you went to the office, we were a bit confused. Confidence level, I won't say that it was too less, but yes, somewhat less than what you have today. We faced difficulties. Initially, we had self-doubt as well. But imagine today, you are more strong, you are more wise, and you are more determined. You have a lot of experiences, because these difficulties are the one we call the lessons of life. I pity that person who has never faced difficulty, because if we don't have problems, that's the biggest problem. 10th, I usually expect good things to happen at work. Not possible. Not every moment is good. As McDonald's says, I'm loving it. We can't always be loving everything. There are people, there are situations, there are moments, and there are experiences which we don't want in our life. So do you expect that good things are waiting for you? Next, I see difficulties as temporary and solvable. Again, I would say easy to say, difficult to practice, but if you are practice, choose the right option. And last but not the least, 12th number point, I focus on what can go right rather than what can go wrong. I know we all have studied strategic management. It says that strategic management is both proactive and reactive, and it is always dynamic, not static. And we have been through the Murphy's laws as well. Think of the worst moment. We are auditors. We are the people who have the best quality of professional skepticism. But being skeptic doesn't mean that we always be thinking in the wrong way. Being skeptic means we are the people who want to find out what is behind the curtain, what is being hid from us. That's a wonderful thing. But yes, there are people who always believe that my life is not good. Everything, whatever I do, I always attract wrong things, wrong people, wrong moment, wrong experiences. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 12 questions, and I hope you all have given yourself some numbers. You all have done the self-analysis. I recall the quote by Carl Jung, the great psychologist. He once said, "Who looks outside only dreams, but who looks inside, they are the one who are awakened." So let's be awakened. I won't say don't dream, but yes, first, let's be awakened. And when we are awakened, as the great legendary Kalam sir told, "Sapne wo dekhte hain, jo jagte hue dekhte hain, wahi sapne hote hain." So now the time comes for your self-analysis. Again, use the paper and the pen. And those who have used the Excel sheet, just sum up the first three questions. They resemble your hope. The three questions, these are the 4 quarters of our life. The first quarter is about hope. The second quarter is about efficacy. The third quarter is about resilience. And the last quarter is about optimism. As happens in our financial world as well, the last quarter, it is very difficult to be optimistic. But what's your number? For all these 4 factors, just add on, sum up everything and find out of 60, where do we stand? If we are in the position of 51 to 60, oh, wonderful, congratulations. You have a wonderful psychological capital, and now it's your responsibility to build that psychological capital in people around you, in the minds of people around you. You have a great responsibility as well. If we are in the position of 36 to 50, we have a moderate side capital. It doesn't mean that we are lacking it, but yes, we have. We can improve, we can improve, we can improve. And the last, if we are below 35, we need to ponder. We need to take a pause. We need to analyze our life again. We need to do the zero-based budgeting. We need to think from zero. Where are we heading? Are we only hedonist people? Are we only collecting matters around us? Are we only collecting the scientific gadgets around us? Are we the only people having a lot of equipments around us? And do we actually require all these equipments, gadgets, machines? I'm not saying we don't require it, but yes, in cost of your psychological capital, do you need it? Because at the end, your psychological capital will help you in every situation. And that's why there's a model rightly shared by our chairman, sir, called the hero-based practices. We need to find out the hero-based practices. Hero, H, hope, E, efficacy, R, resilience, O, optimism. The next part, the first box, we are the experts of it. We are the one who is called the financial surgeon of the country. We are the backbone of the economy. And that's why we are the experts of analyzing, finding, collecting, allocating our traditional economic capital. And it denotes what we have, what we have. It includes the finances, the tangible assets we have, the intangible assets we have. And then comes the next part. Because if you want to be successful, if you want to build more economic capital, you need people, you need humans, and comes here the human capital, what you know. What you know, it includes every phase of your life. वो कहते हैं ना, बाल यूं सफेद हुए नहीं हैं. My silver, lining on the head, it showcases the experiences. It is said, not always it's true, but yes, it showcases that I have experienced some good, some bad moments in my life. And because of that, I know how to come out of those unexpected situations. And that's why my education has helped me a lot because it has given me analytical skills. It has helped me to find out and collect knowledge. It has helped me to collate, to correlate and collect ideas. Now, just having ideas is of no use, because lot many people have ideas, but they could not make it into bring it into reality. We need again a network of people. We need again a network of people. In Hindi, there's a phrase called "Akela chana bhar nahi phod sakta." It means if you want to do gargantuan task, you need people. Again, keep in mind, in plural sense, I'm talking about here. You need a lot of people in your life. And that's called a social capital. Let me be very specific on this point. Social capital doesn't include the social media. It doesn't include the followers we have on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, or the connections we have on LinkedIn, because nowadays people are showcasing in their LinkedIn bio 20K connections. But how many real people you have who will be standing beside you, around you, who will be guiding you, who would be helping you? Because all these are called the relationships. Apne to apne hote hain. Do you have friends? Do you have friends? Because friends, it doesn't mean only the social gathering we have. Friends are the one who have no expectations from us, but yes, they would be standing with us. They would be standing. All these, ladies and gentlemen, combinedly makes the last one, and that is called the most precious capital given to humans. Given to humans, keep in mind, the Homo sapiens, and that's called the positive psychological capital, because this is the question every human is searching for: who we are. Who we are. I was going through an article of the Lord Macaulay Minutes, 1835, where the education system during the British period was revamped. And I wanted to know the real meaning of education. That Lord Macaulay Minute couldn't give me the right meaning of education. So I ventured into one more document of the Government of India called the NEP 2020, New Education Policy. On the 5th page, I recall the second paragraph, it says, the aim of education in ancient India was not just the acquisition of knowledge as preparation for life, but the complete realization and liberation of the self. The complete realization and liberation of the self. Today, our education is mostly focused on giving a degree where people, they're told that get this degree and you'll be earning huge pile of money. And that's the irony. We are facing burnout syndrome because our schools have never taught us. They have never taught that how to overcome the psychological impacts. They have not taught the way to find out if we are in a dilemma. They have never taught us that if you are stuck in psychological setbacks, how to come out of it. And the taboos in our society, it's devastating. If someone says, I have psychological issues, then unfortunately, people around us, they mock us. They think that he has gone crazy. Pagal hai. That's the taboo, level 2 psychological side of our life. And we call ourselves developed humans. When we have physical issues, we go to MBBS or MS doctor, but we refrain from going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist because the society believes that we have gone crazy. And that is the reason not everyone is aware who they are. We are in a labyrinth, a Chakravyuh. We thought that we have traveled a lot, but the irony is we are standing on the same point from where we started. And that is how we start losing the HERO in our life. Today, I'll be focusing on some aspects, some methodologies, some solutions, how to build the HERO factors in our life. Today, I'll be focusing on generating psychological capital so that in real terms we are happy, so that we can understand who we are, so that we can tell people who we are, so that people can understand who we are, so that families are happy, so that the professional setups are happy, so that the client and the professional relationship is being not compromised but justified. If you have experienced this particular situation of not being satisfied, and because we have a lot of choices, and every choice we always feel it is right, this is right, this is right, this is right, and this is how we have become a bit indecisive. And please keep in mind, when I say we, I'm not generalizing. We mean a lot of people who have been through this particular moment, a phase of life, the phase of indecisiveness. Because we have never been taught how to choose the right way. The right way, because being righteous is very difficult. Reading about ethics, reading about integrity, so that we can score marks, that's wonderful. But what about practicing it in our daily life? Because that is the moment when we become very indecisive. And later on, we are not satisfied. In the past 5 years, we all have experienced people with a lot of money or the traditional economic capital, people of high net worth, people who were the benchmarks of success as per the modern world in terms of money. When they faced setback, when they faced moments of indecisiveness, they couldn't handle it. And unfortunately, they took a step which was not expected, which was not required, because that particular moment changes everything. There's a very thin line. And people, they don't understand, and they take steps where they are gone. And the people who are surviving, they have no answers to the questions, and they always live in dilemma. I wish that person could have told me. So psychological capital, if we have, seriously, I tell you, it can give you satisfaction. And in terms of economy, I'm not saying that we should be satisfied always, but yes, a satisfaction of the inner self, we need psychological capital. There might be a question in my audience's mind that, Mr. Mishra, how come the psychological capital is relevant for chartered accountants? Ladies and gentlemen, the only answer I could give is that we all are humans. We are made of matters, and all the matters are being controlled by the brain. And then inside the brain, we have the software called the mind. Inside the brain, which people call heart as well, inside the brain and the heart, we have emotions, which some people could express and some are not so expressive. And that leads to fight, not only in professional setup, but our family setup as well. If you are not happy at family end, how can you be happy and successful in your professional world? Because one side of your life is disbalanced, and that leads to stress. Keep in mind, stress. Nowadays, people are talking a lot about stress. And there are experts on YouTube, there are experts on Instagram who are giving suggestions, who are giving solutions. But very few people are going to the experts, the psychologist, the psychiatrist, to find out the answer. And that is how the word stress, it has lost the meaning. Stress is a technical jargon, a technical word belonging to the science field and specifically to the engineering field. Whenever a civil engineer, constructs or develops something, before handling it to the client, they go for the stress test. If the structure could pass the stress test, it is handed. And if you couldn't pass the stress test, either it is reconstructed or demolished. Because that stress, if it has failed, then a lot many people's life is at stake. Hence, stress is not bad always. Allow me to give two aspects of stress. The first is called eustress, 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 and the second is called distress. Eustress, we all have faced. Just go back 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years back in your life. When you started the CA course, do you remember the first time you went for the exam? You had a lot of stress. And the moment the question paper was served in front of you, and the moment you saw the question, suddenly stress bombarded inside you. But do you also recall the moment you started writing the answers? 3 hours, it went away like hoof. You were not aware that you wrote for 3 hours. And the result of that was the result declared by ICI. And when your name was showcased in the list of candidates passing the exams, and then you saw your name in the list of the register of members, don't you recall that moment? You had a wonderful smile on your face, and that was not a fake one, because that smile came from inside. Ladies and gentlemen, the stress we faced during the exam is called eustress, the beneficial stress. It usually comes when we are not aware of something, when we don't have that particular knowledge, when we are not equipped with skills. But if you want to overcome that eustress, you need to equip yourself with the skills, with the proper education, with the proper set of skills. And it is always temporary. But the irony is, most of the people are considering the eustress as the anxiety, which is totally opposite. Anxiety is a medical terminology where the doctors analyze whether that patient falls under the definition of anxiety or not. Usually you have been facing eustress. And be happy with it, that you have the eustress. God has given you a lot of options, a lot of opportunities to go towards a lot of ways in your life. If you don't possess eustress, it means, as rightly said by our chairman, that confidence is not always right. If it is pseudo confidence, like you are going to a jungle and suddenly you saw a snake, a cobra in front of you, and you said, "Let it be, aren't they?" Because we are very positive. That's not confidence. That's called stupidity. Because that snake, it is the snake's duty to bite. And it is our duty to use the brain. And in this situation, we should use the strategic method of turnaround strategy. We should not head towards the snake, because if you head towards the snake, it will perform its duty and it will bite you. Then RIP, rest in peace. So, a moment when we all faced the COVID period, when unfortunately someone lost some loved one, when people were looking for oxygen cylinders, when people couldn't get admissions in hospitals, that was distress moment. That actually was distress moment. And I just pray that you should be not be given this distress moment, because that is a chaos where people usually, when they have not faced the distress, they are not aware what to do. But yes, the people in your life, irrespective of the age, if they have been through those experiences of distressful moment, they know the way out. And we should consult the experts in this field. As you all have studied in auditing, that take expert advice. There is no harm in learning from your juniors or someone who is less age than you, because learning can be done anytime from anyone. But the condition is, we should be in the momentum of learning. We should be in acceptance mode. And this is how the stress level, it is very relevant for chartered accountants because lot many laws the government drafts, the government enacts, and the government amends. And these are the moments of stress because suddenly everything changes, or some rules have been changed, or geopolitical tensions, like from 2022, Russia-Ukraine crisis, and recently India faced a moment, unfortunate moment, but yes, India replied it back. And I'm happy that our government, they didn't show any expression of stress. They planned everything and they executed it in a very covert way, and that was named Operation Sindoor. Hats off to our defense personnel, hats off to our strategists, hats off to our government when they did executed it. It was an unfortunate moment. The families who face that situation, they are actually having the distressful moment. I pray that you all be healthy and hearty. Next comes the ambiguous moment and the changes. Life is ever evolving, life is ever changing, and it is rightly said that the only thing which is not changing is change itself. Change. If you don't change, we become obsolete. And the perfect example here is Nokia Mobile. You all remember that moment of playing Snake, in a Nokia devices. It was a mesmerizing moment. And this is what I call as euphoria, Oh, Nokia was ruling the market, but they didn't expect changes. They were not aware of the ambiguous business environment, and they didn't opt and adopt to the changes. And today, Nokia is gone forever. They tried to be resilient, but they couldn't because they were lacking the perfect skills, the required skills. And it is the law of nature. If anything is not updated, it is obsolete. And obsolete things are always trashed. Then comes the client relationship management. You are the expert of it. And in this particular situation, obviously your degree will give you impetus in terms of your technical knowledge. But to cater the client relationship, we need psychological capital because we are dealing with humans. And humans, we have emotions. Anytime it can change, anytime, just like water, it changes. So learn the art of psychological capital to cater your client. Next comes ethical decision making. Every profession, we have our professional misconduct code, or also we have the code of conduct. And the code of conduct is a strict rule so that all the members, the stakeholders of our institute, they are safeguarded. The code of conduct are not punishment to us. Rather, they are the rules, they are the guidelines, they are the codes which will save us. And in this, if you all aware, obviously you're aware of it, the most important is called the ethical part. Because it is very easy to do unethical things, but one person can bring laurels to the profession and one person can bring shame to the profession. Let's be the one who brings laurels to the profession. Let's be the one who becomes the flag bearer of the goodwill of the profession. And I know many people who faced moments, who had moments to compromise with their ethics, but they say no. And in this situation, we should use no means no. Leadership and team performance. You all are leaders, you all have team, and the team is comprised of humans, and humans, they always give importance to the psychological aspects. If the work environment is not good, they will leave the organization. If they are lacking motivation, they will leave the organization. If they are not having any responsibilities, they will leave the organization. And then nowadays, they have a line called, do what you love. Do what you love. And if they're not getting that satisfaction or contentment of job, they will leave. And you all have understood that money in the initial stages, it is a motivation factor. But when you step ahead in life, money becomes a secondary part. Primary is the motivation which pushes you. And that's why we need mental wellness in our life. Because if we are mentally fit, we can go for the solution option. We can go for the solution approach. I was a part of National Cadet Corps. I'm a ABC certificate holder. And because of NCC, I got the opportunity to be associated with the Indian Army. I remember the moments of drill, our seniors, they used to punish us and they always used to say, platoon, ye kaam ho jana chahiye. And they expected only one answer, yes, sir. Once I asked my senior, sir, why do you punish us? And why do you just force us without providing us solutions? That gentleman told, Govind, keep in mind, life is the same. Life will give you a lot of problems. Be solution oriented. Be solution oriented. And mental health always provides problem and solution both. And if it has given you problem, keep in mind, the solution lies inside. And this is how we ahead in our career. We become successful in our career. And sometimes we drive on the topsy and sometimes the turvy. And sometimes the road is clean and sometimes the road is full of potholes. Sometimes we have ups, sometimes we have downs, sometimes we are smiling, sometimes we are sad. And Nakaho se ber nakaho se dosti, it means I'm neutral in those situations. These are moments, momentary moments, and these momentary moments, like the moments, they will become moments in the future moments of our momentary life. And then you'll one day smile, oh, that was a problem. I was scared of that time. Oh, it was, today I know, yeah, it was nothing. And you know how to handle it properly. And when you have all these things in your life, you become the best investor in your life. You become the best angel investor. You become the best capital, venture capitalist of your life, because you are going to bootstrap your life, and bootstrapping beyond your technical skills. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Deviyo and Sajjano, are you a hero? And this hero, it is not resembling any gender or sex. The hero is a factor. The hero is a technique. The hero is a concept. You all have studied in auditing that principles never change. The concept of hero is a principle created by the Almighty, the God. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, hero, when I talk about hero, the first name comes in front of me is Lieutenant Colonel Mithali Madhumita. How many of you are aware of this lady? Because she is not the one who shines on television sets, because she is not the one who goes for fashion shows, because she is not the one who longes for sponsorship. She's not the one. I'm sorry, I told. So she's not the one who is much active on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. And she's not the one who wants a lot of recognition and applause. She had been a silent hero, and it is rightly said that not all heroes wear capes. Ladies and gentlemen, high regard, respect for Colonel Mithali Madhumita, because she is the first female Indian Army officer to win Gallantry Award. When I believe it was 2010 when she went to Afghanistan for providing her services, and suddenly some attack was done over there, and she took the charge and she saved a lot of people over there, including her buddies, her colleagues. And then Government of India gave her the Gallantry Award. I believe it was Sena Medal. Along with this, one more factor, I respect this lady, and she's a right example of women empowerment and feminism. When she was commissioned in the Indian Army, she was commissioned under Short Service Commission. And when she asked for permanent commission, she was rejected. She went to the courts. And I believe it was the year 2016 or 17 when the Supreme Court passed the judgment and told the Defense Ministry that you have to give her permanent commission. And I'm not sure, please do cross-checking. She's the one who led to the movement because of which the National Defense Academy became open to women. Earlier, National Defense Academy was not for women. and now it is entirely open for both male and female candidates. And it was 2021, I believe, that a lady from Haryana, she scored the top position in the NDA written examinations. So, are you a hero who doesn't wear a cape? Are you the one who always wants to be in the background and doing their task, performing their responsibilities, and always carrying a smile on your face? Ladies and gentlemen, she is actually a hero because she is the resemblance of HERO, hero. Hope, hope is a drug. A drug not for addiction, but a drug to save life. Hope is the drug God has gifted us, which can keep us alive every time. I recall a movie, Pursuit of Happiness. You should watch this movie. Will Smith is the main protagonist. And there was a scene when his son was playing basketball and someone bullied him. Then Will Smith told to his son, hey, son, if someone says you can't do it, don't listen to them. And even if I say, don't listen to me either, have hope in your life, have faith in your life, HOPE. And because the moment we are hopeful, you are very energetic. A friend of mine, she's a commandant in CISF, and around 2 months ago, the official handle of CISF, Central Industrial Security Force, posted a picture of my friend, Ashoka Nandini Mahanti, and congratulated her. And the congratulation wishes, it wrote that congratulations for summiting Kilimanjaro. She submitted one of the top 10 peaks of the world, Kilimanjaro, and this year, quite possible, she is heading towards Mount Everest. And Mount Everest, you all are aware, the perfect example of lot many stories of hope. How can you forget Arunima Sinha? When she was lying in a pool of blood on a railway track, not knowing whether she'll survive or die. But yes, it was God's will. She survived, but lost, I think, her leg. But she is the one who climbed till the summit of Everest. Imagine, she's a perfect example and answer to those people who give excuses that, oh, I'm lacking energy. I don't have enthusiasm. I don't have these resources. I'm not fit. A lady who was specially abled climbed till Mount Everest because she had a hope. She had a hope that she is going to become a benchmark for many downtrodden people in the society. And after Arunima Sinha's climb on Everest, many girls, they gained faith in themselves. Their hope rose and they were very energetic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have hope, keep in mind, many people are looking at you. It is not only your life. You have responsibility of many people on your shoulders. Don't ever lose hope. Every time, if there's a problem, there's a solution. If there's a problem, there's a solution. Be calm and try to find out the solution because there is a solution. Then comes efficacy. What can I do? What are my skills? Do I possess the perfect expertise? Do I have the knowledge of that? Do I have the ability? And I don't believe in my ability. And then someone says, I have no ability. Nobody taught me. It was not taught inside the class. It is out of course. Nobody guided me. They are the people who make excuses. Don't be that person who always have a lot of excuses because someone told either you can make excuses or you can make money. And here money means the capital we're talking about. A belief in your ability to produce positive results. My audience, whom I'm not able to see face to face. But yes, your energy is being transformed to me, transferred to me, and I'm being transformed. Although we are in a digital mode right now, but yes, I'm connected to you all. I have a belief that what I possess, I'm able to pass on to my audience. And my audience are emitting the same radiance. My audience are emitting the same energy. And this is how we are creating a collaboration. We are creating a synergy. Because if you follow the efficacy part, you will meet a lot of people. And this is how you create synergy, you create partnerships. But life is very amazing. Sometimes something is good, sometimes something is bad. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. And that moment of sadness is the litmus test whether actually you are practicing what we preach. Because it is quite easy to say, be positive, be positive, be positive. But the moment we face situations, the moment of dilemmas, the moment of crisis, the moment we have problems, it showcases the litmus test. Are you actually positively trying to find out the solutions? Are you actually bouncing back? The perfect example of corporate life I would like to take here is Royal Enfield. I know most of you love the Royal Enfield, the example of resilience. 70s, 80s, 90s was the period when Royal Enfield was ruling the market. The defense forces were the customers, the police department was the customer, the paramilitary forces were customers of Royal Enfield. Everybody was having an amazing experience, moment with Royal Enfield. And I am quite possibly in my audience, there might be someone who still possesses 30, 40 years old Royal Enfield. And for them, it is the best experience they have because they have a lot of stories associated with the Royal Enfield. If you could relate, there might be someone over in my audience who could remember that once, some 2-3 decades ago, when someone in the family was riding a Royal Enfield, and behind that person's wife was sitting, and suddenly the speed was very, the bike was in a momentum, and later on, after 2-3 kilometers, the person realized that nobody is speaking from the back seat, and they could not find their company over there, and then they realized, oh, they have fallen down. Many people must have experienced this. This is a quite like connecting story with Royal Enfield users. 90s came, and then came LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Hero joint ventured with Honda, and Bajaj joint ventured with Kawasaki. And they manufactured bikes which were very economical bikes. Royal Enfield, the mileage was, in 1 liter, it was giving a maximum 25 kilometers. But Hero Honda and Bajaj Kawasaki brought bikes where in 1 liter, the customer was getting a mileage of 80 kilometers. And this is how the market of Royal Enfield started falling. 2000 was the decade when they actually lost the entire market. But yes, one young man, a young blood, came to the management, and he didn't showcase that he's the boss. Rather, he went to the ground level. He joined some bike clubs. He went onto into adventurous trips with the users of Royal Enfield. And then he found out what is the problem the end users are facing. And now today, ladies and gentlemen, look at Royal Enfield. Oh, a glorious past, a glorious present, and a glorious future they have. This is called resilience. And oh my God. Are you always optimistic? And optimism doesn't mean only thinking, because optimism means the combination of thinking and acting positively. Because majority people, they just say, I ask my audience, what do you mean by or be positive or optimism? They say, sir, in every situation, be positive. In every situation, be positive. But I tell them, hey, you are auditors. Auditors should think from a negative perspective. Then only we can do the proper auditing. Then he said, oh, yes, sir. Then I asked, if someday a snake bites you, will you be positive? That guy said, sir, I don't have any choice. I have to remain positive. But the physiological process, the moment the snake bites, your heartbeat will increase, your blood flow will increase, and suddenly you'll face fatigueness and you will collapse. Because the moment this situation happens with us humans, we switch on a button called panic button. That is called not being optimistic. Optimistic are the one who knows how to control the panic button. Because optimistic people are the one who knows if something has happened, something will happen as well. And they are the one who always try to find out that if we have the problem right now, what would be the solution thereafter? Although they are facing problems, just to take the example of snake bite, if a snake has bitten me, I can't control it. But yes, I can control the first thing is giving first aid to myself, or tying a piece of cloth on my like arms, or below my joints, above my joints, where I have only one single bone, so that the poison doesn't flow upwards in my body. And after the first aid, I try to find out that now what is the next step, because the first aid gives me a chance to survive. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called optimism. This is a depiction of the PsyCap, the psychological capital, in our personal life and our professional life as well. In individual levels, you could see the factors or the backgrounds which are being impacted with psychological capital are your personality traits, your self-esteem, or your proactivity. And definitely in our individual level, in our individual life, when we have the psychological capital, it always increases our well-being. Do research on internet and you'll find out most of the physical ailments are because of psychological disbalances. If people are not balanced psychologically, definitely they won't be disease-free. The World Health Organization gives the definition of health. It says health means the physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence of ailments or diseases. I know there are a lot of people who are going to gym, they're pumping iron, people who are taking care of their body, they're going on walk, they are doing cross training, they are doing cardio, they are doing stretching. It is just taking care of your physical body. What about the mental part? What about your psychological well-being? Who will take care of it? Take charge of it. Increase your psychological capital, because if it is increased, we will be satisfied, seriously. Because psychological capital, the more you generate, the more you collect your personal health in all three aspects: your physical, your mental, and your social health. It will increase, and you'll become the perfect example of healthy person. And when you have been through that phase, you can teach someone else that how to be healthy on all three aspects, and it will develop your interpersonal relationships with people, and this will increase your networking. And this is how you can overcome the cultural barriers. You can adapt to different cultures. You will be having positive emotions. And this is how you can be culturally more intelligent, and you can adapt to changes. You can be committed to changes, because your stress will be reduced, your anxiety, as per the medical field, it will reduce, and your BMI, definitely it will come to the perfect measurement. Your cholesterol will go down. I have rheumatoid arthritis. Sorry to share this with you all. And for the last 15 years, I have been facing the spinal disc prolapse. There might be someone in my audience who have been in this situation. The doctors recommended a lot of things. I am following my doctor. I don't question the intelligence of my doctor. I do follow it, religiously. But along with that, I started developing my mental capital. I started working on myself. I started doing the affirmations and everything, the positivity. And that's why I would recommend a book to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful book, The Power of Subconscious Mind. And along with this book, I'll recommend you one more book, and that's called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Daniel Goleman is an authority in emotional intelligence. And recently, I got a certificate from IIT Kharagpur on emotional intelligence. It was a 2 months program. And my professor was Dr. Pradhan. I was lacking the time to invest in this program, and thankfully this was an online program. So I enrolled for that program. Whenever I used to drive, I used to switch on the class and I used to study my syllabus. I completed all my assignments. I gave my exams, and just a month ago, the result was announced. By God's blessings and the wishes of my friends, I scored 82%. But I'm not like bragging the 82%. What I'm trying to say that I became more intelligent in terms of my emotions. I was searching for some answers, which I got through this course. Today, IQ is required, but EQ will actually give you success. And this leads to the organizational level. Because when you have the psychological capital, your leadership style will change, your organization climate, your environment, it will change. People around you, they would be happy. They won't be overburdened with a lot of waste emotions, and it will increase the performance of the entire organization. People will be more engaged. People would be happy to work with you, to work for your organization, and they will be satisfied with the job. They will be more committed. And this is how you can create a module for others to follow and others to imitate. Because the people who are working with you, they're following cynicism. Rather, they are happy and they will be with you for a longer period, because the organizations are facing employee turnover rate nowadays, and that is high. If an organization is having high employee turnover rate, do check it. They must be having psychological capital in minus level. They need to add more psychological capital so that it can come to the surplus, from the deficit to the surplus. We need surplus of psychological capital. And how to do that? We need only 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes. I know my audience are very busy. I know my audience are very busy. I met someone who told, Govindji, I don't have time to food as well. I can't eat. I said, come on, yaar. We are earning so that we can eat, and you don't have time to eat? That's the irony. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you are ready to invest for yourself? And that investment requires only 10 minutes daily. 10 minutes only. 10 minutes, imagine. Using the mobile in the loo, it takes half an hour. Playing a game which is we are being overburdened with the free lives, it takes 30 minutes. Or engaging in chit chat on WhatsApp group, which has nothing. 80% of the chit chat in the WhatsApp group is waste. It should be discarded. I need you only 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes. And this is how you all can thrive. You all can thrive, not only survive. This picture, this is not to mock someone. This is not to humiliate someone, because this is the reality of today's. Actually, this is a reality. We are the robots in the face of human, because our life has become very robotic. Very robotic. This, tuck. We have a lot of checklist. Because we have been overburdened, we have been pressurized to gain economic capital. And where you are working, if that organization is not having a positive economic capital, then they are not afraid of issuing a memo to you as well. And this is how we all are trapped in survival trap. It's a trap we all are having. No, not nostalgia, rather we are having euphoria. Earlier in my session, I used the word euphoria. In that situation, we should have used the word, nostalgia, when you remember old moments. So this is a moment when people are feeling euphoric with a lot of chemical low in our brain, because we have good package, we have 4 BHK flat, we have a chauffeur-driven car, we have every gadget, we have all the electronics. My house is like is having Internet of Things. I can switch off my geyser from space. I can connect with everybody on videos. And I can share my live location as well. And this is a chronic disease we all are facing, and it has become very normal these days. We are normalizing the survival trap. Sir, how to thrive? You are just sharing the problem, Mr. Mishra. You are saying the things which we are aware of, but we are more concerned about the solution, sir. If you're talking about thriving, do tell us how to thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, on the left side, there are 3 ways, there are 3 options, there are 3 things which can give you the thriving thrill in your life. And life, I'm saying, your personal and your professional life. Because when you talk about creativity, I know a lot of people are using ChatGPT. Allow me to share one incident recently. I asked a batch of 30 future chartered accountants, and I told that I want a project report from you. Everybody just took out the mobile, they went on ChatGPT, and they started typing. I asked them, hey, you all are my consultants. You didn't ask me how much capital do I have. You didn't ask me which business I'm planning to do. They said, oh, so sorry. So I gave them the option that I want to plan a restaurant come library business, and I have 10 lakh bootstrap capital. Within 2 minutes, they brought out the project reports. But I asked them, will you submit the project report you just want to showcase to me in front of authorities, in front of angel investors, in front of venture capitalists, in front of the funders? And they all said no. I asked them, how many of you know how to use ChatGPT? They felt offended. Then I refined my question. I asked them, how many of you know how to use prompts? Then I narrated a prompt of 3 minutes. Imagine a prompt of 3 minutes. And after that 3 minutes, the answer given by the same ChatGPT totally changed. It was a wonderful structured project report. But at the end of the ChatGPT, it always says that it is just a suggestion, consult the experts. So I asked them, will you be using this project report with customized changes? And can you then submit this to the authorities or the people who have who are ready to lend you money? And they said, yes, now it is more systematic. And this is what we call as creativity. Even to use artificial intelligence, we need natural intelligence, because these are the machines used by the humans, and humans have psychological capital. AI, it will take time for them. In future, if possible, they can have the psychological capital, but right now you have a competitive advantage. And because of this, our focus will be more flowing towards the task. Imagine that situation when you have a hobby and you are doing some painting. Example, I have a painting over here of Lord Jagannath. It took me 3 months to complete this painting. It's an oil painting. But I tell you, 3 months, I was like committed to the painting. I was dedicated. My 100% focus was on the painting. And that particular moment of painting every day for 10 or 15 minutes helped me in my professional life as well. And today I have a story to share. That using the hobby helped me to build my psychological capital. And also, it increased the patience level in me. There was a time when I was a bomb. I used to burst out. I was so short-tempered. Then later on, I started learning that how not to waste my anger on people who are not important in my life. Because the asset of anger, I only use towards the people who are important in my life, not everyone. Earlier, I used to spoil my biggest asset of anger to everyone, and they never used to give respect to it. So I started not diverting it, not disinvesting it. I tried to store it with me, and my patience level increased. But before that, I tried to understand everyone. Today, if I'm sharing the session over here, it's not from a trainer's perspective or a teacher's perspective. I plan my session as per my audiences. I always believe and I always see that if I'm the audience, what would be my reaction? What would be my response towards the content, towards the stories, towards the examples I'm going to share? And then I draft my session. This is called empathy. And it can be done only because of psychological capital. Again, I would highly recommend to read this book, Emotional Intelligence. It will help you a lot. We have now approx 20 minutes left. This is a small framework in front of you. If you want to follow the Thrive mode, you should have mental clarity, emotional strength, and ethical action. Because all these three factors, when joined together, nobody can stop you. You'll be a person who will always be active, energetic, super excited. And this is how your thinking level, your focus, your emotional intelligence, and the leadership skills inside you would be generating that radiance which people might be lacking. And if you are generating that radiance, as it is said by energy, it cannot be created, not destroyed, but yes, it can be transferred. And when energy is transferred, it transforms. You all could recall the moment our esteemed chairman, Jayji, started the session. The way he narrated about the topic, I was like amazed. Yeah, he has spoken everything about the topic. He has spoken about the hero factor as well. What should I speak? I was like mesmerized with it, but good. Because that energy which emitted from him to me, it was a positive one. I was infected with the positive energy. And because of that, imagine 1.5 hours have crossed. And still we are having a wonderful time. Because we are not in the survival mode. We are in the thrive mode. We are using creativity. We are using going deep in the topic. We are calm. We are patient. We are supportive thanks to our esteemed host, Meenakshi Jainji. The way she started the program, everything is running smoothly. And I'm happy that since a long time, I'm associated with the ICI. And it has been a long-term relationship. Ye pyar to hona hi tha. So I have always thrived because the great esteemed ICI has thrived. The members, they have thrived. The students, they have thrived. And if you know someone who is not in the thrive mode, it is your responsibility to bring them out of the survival mode and to put them on the thrive mode. And for that, again, keep in mind, we need three things. The formula is thrive mode is equal to mental clarity, emotional strength, and ethical action. This is how you build capacity, leadership. This is how your strength of ethics is always stronger. And this is how the people around you, in front of you, your client, would be more positive. It is always said that saying no positively is always good, rather than being that person who always just murmurs things and is angry inside, but they are not able to showcase their emotions. It is better to say no. Because that saying no in a positive way, only once people might feel bad. But yes, people are aware that this person has some rules. This person has some principles. This person is not easy to crack because he is or she is very strong psychologically, because they are very rich in terms of psychological capital. I believe you might have faced someone in your life, the client from the hell, Just to share an example, our dear friend Ravi, a chartered accountant, when he started his professional life, he joined a startup. The founder, Mr. James, he was a very rude person, and he was always on the toes, very impatient, and he used to very aggressive, and he used to demoralize the people around him. He thought that he's the only person having all the resources, and all the people in front of him they are beggars. So he used to shout. He used to like manage everything from the zero level. And this is how the people around him, their life was hell. And every day he used to call Ravi and used to shout in front of everyone. Indeed, Ravi's junior, they also felt bad for him. Ravi was very angry. He was hurt deep inside, but yes, he had responsibilities. He thought that he will resign, which was the worst decision he could have taken. But he used the other way of psychological capital. And indeed, the psychological capital helped our dear friend Ravi to thrive, not only survive. He hoped that there is a better way forward, even if I don't see it yet. And this is how his creativity started in a 360-degree way. And then he analyzed that he need to develop the interpersonal skills so that he can understand people more. Later on, the situation started lightening up and he could retain his client. And he wrote 3 pathways: initiate a structured one-on-one feedback meeting, clarify expectation scope in documented form, and offer a revised service legal agreement with escalation mechanisms. This is a wonderful way to follow in our professional life. Sometimes, if there's a mediator between us, then definitely the escalation, is not good. When there's a middle person and we are being communicating with that middle person, the message is always diluted. It's better to go for a one thing. And then you should know why people are hiring you, or why you are being hired, or why you are on a retainership basis, or why you are a consultant, or why you are going to give your services. Everything should be in documents, so that in future, if something bad is going to happen, you can bring the document. SA 230, documentation. It is a safeguard to all of us. If Ravi could be saved by using hope, why can't we? Along with hope, Ravi told himself, I can do it. I can handle it. I have the skills. I can manage my stakeholders. I'm a chartered accountant. I have been taught my articleship period. I have been taught how to handle this. Why can't I talk to my principal who gave me guidance that time? So he went to talk to his principal. He took the guidance and he realized, oh, wow, I have the solution now. So when you are having a doubt on your efficacy, then go and find a mentor who has mentored you. And mentor can be anyone. It can be your spouse. It can be your parents. They can be your, even sometimes your kids, your children, or sometimes your juniors as well. Because once upon a time when Lord Krishna was furious because Arjun couldn't kill Bhishma. So Lord Krishna, he took his chakra and he was about to kill Bhishma. But Arjun told, oh Lord, oh Krishna, please, you have taken the vow not to hold any weapon in the Dharma, Mahabharata Yuddha. So this is how the junior became the mentor to the senior at that time. And this is how, when you have doubt on your efficacies, we should talk to people. Because if you don't know, we will fall down. And if we have faced COVID and still surviving, still happy, still smiling, still having a good life, then keep in mind, there is nothing more devastating than that. Everything has a solution. Everything has a solution. Take a pause, calculate the beta factor of it, the risk involved after it, and try to find out the long-term impacts, not the short-term, because the stress is short-term and the happiness is long-term. And be grounded. You'll be more resilient, because those who are standing on ground, only they are the one who can bounce back. Those who are not on the ground, they will be gone. This is what I believe optimism is, because we talk about not the problems, but the solutions. And Ravi listened to his heart, Ravi listened to his brain, Ravi listened to his experiences, his educational qualifications, and this is how he developed the optimism. Ladies and gentlemen, if I talk about the key takeaways of Ravi's example, then this is what I must say, that psychological capital is not a soft skill. It is a strategic tool, just like ratio analysis. Because ratio analysis, you all are experts of it. Who better than you can be the master of Excel sheets? Because the Excel sheets showcases the strategic analysis. So psychological capital is the same strategic tool. In high-stakes professional relationships, your mindset can be your greatest asset. If you remember, the second slide I showcased was of Lord Krishna and Arjun, when Lord Krishna told, "Oh Parth, your mind is your biggest enemy and your mind is your best friend. Choose wisely." Investing in a mindset is as important as investing in your technical skills. You have invested a lot of money, a lot of time in your technical upgradation, ladies and gentlemen. You have invested a lot of money in your, tangible assets. Now, it is the time to develop, to invest in your psychological asset, because that is the intellectual property right only you own. Nobody else can own it. Nobody else can copy it. But yes, you can teach to someone, and that would be a great help to someone. Helping someone is one of the best things you can do. Helping a person who is in a devastating situation and not getting the answer. And if you are the one who can guide them, that's the best thing you can do in your life, because you have psychological capital and you invested a great amount of resources to develop it. And the return of investment, if you invest in it, then pressure will be under pressure. And you can talk to people, you can negotiate with people. I'm the one who never went on stage till graduation. I had a fear of talking to girls in my school, in my college. And if that girl start talking in English, oh my God, I didn't know English. People used to call me introvert. I was actually shy, the youngest child of my family. And today I'm a trainer, today I'm a speaker, and I teach people public speaking. That's the biggest dream of my life, which became a reality. And still, sometimes I don't believe it. I pinch myself. Then I say, oh, it is indeed a reality, because I have invested a lot of amount in developing myself. Having a professional degree and choosing a life totally opposite to it, I became a trainer. I chose being a trainer where I had no experience of it, but still I'm happy with it, because I didn't opt for the survival mode. I opted for the thriving mode. And this is how long-term sustainability and emotional balance I try to maintain. I might be lacking some resources, something, someone in my life, in my personal life, but yes, I'm happy. I'm really happy. Just 3 days ago, I bought I brought a pet, Labrador, and me and my wife, since 2 days, we are very much busy in it. We are not doing anything. We are just enjoying that moment. Will you call this waste of time? Will you call that I'm wasting resources? But for me, but for my family, it is one of the best investment, because it is actually giving goosebumps. It is actually giving a bit of happiness to us, and we are busy with it. This is one example I'm following. I'm not saying that you should also follow the same. So what to do? Now, the last few slides, because time is 6:43 now, 10 minutes left. What to do? The most important part. We talked about the problem, we talked about the process, and now the solution. Because without solution, the entire session would be waste. Ladies and gentlemen, the solution is in front of you. These are the areas where we need to work. Take physical rest, take sensory rest, take social rest, take mental rest, take emotional rest, take spiritual rest, and take creative rest. These are the 7 rests we require in our life. And imagine the beauty of PsyCap is, if you want to develop PsyCap, we need rest. But if you want to develop your economic capital, we can't rest. we are unrest. So use this 7 tools to develop your psych app. And one example in front of you, some of your friends might be Rekha Jain and some of your friends might be Sandeep Mehta. Rekha, when she started her career, she faced the COVID era and she could not survive that moment. But yes, she bounced back. She made the crisis into opportunity, aapada mein avsar, and she had a hope that we shall overcome someday, we shall overcome someday, we shall overcome someday. And because of that psychological capital investment, Rekha Jain brought the 30% increase in the economic capital of the organization. Mr. Sandeep Mehta might be someone from my audience. Mr. Sandeep Mehta, a very high official in the organization, chief financial officer. He also faced a lot of turbulences, but he used efficacy and optimism in his life. And the result was he won new clients for upholding integrity. Although he might have, or he lost some clients when they asked him to just forgo the integrity. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the investment for long-term capital gain, and take action. A small action sheet for my audience from my side. This is a gift for you all. Everybody who are interested in investing in your psychological capital so that you can bring happiness in your personal life, in your professional life, and the stakeholders of your life. We have a timetable in front of you, a schedule in front of you, not much investment of time. It requires very few time of yours every day, 7 days, 24/7. Use this sheet, and I can guarantee you your psychological capital would be in surplus every time. And again, I am saying, I preach what I practice. I have practiced these things, and that's the reason I'm sharing with you all. And I request you all, those who would be practicing it, you got the result, then pass on this to someone who requires it. Help one person at least so that they can increase their psychological capital. And this is the one thing which you need to do, but this is your individual thing, which will be with you. Don't share it with anyone. Have a psychological capital daily journal. And what to do in that? This is in front of you. We have to do only 4 things. We have to write about the hope. And under hope, we need to define 3 micro goals. What we are going to do today, and do I believe I can achieve them? Why and why not? Write it down. If you say that I can achieve them, then write down how can you achieve. And if you say I can't, then why can't you achieve it? And just write down a small pathway. And if you're stuck in that pathway, what are the options? This is how you can increase your hope for the day. How to increase efficacy? That is simply write one thing I did well today. Then a small win I'm celebrating today, and one new skill or strength I used or discovered today. If I talk about my journal today, so in efficacy, I would be writing that one thing I did well today. I connected with my audience. This is the one thing I did well today. One thing I'm celebrating today, that I'm in front of you all, the great legends of the profession over here. I'm able to talk in front of the dignitaries of the profession, the torchbearer and the benchmarks of this great profession. It is a moment of celebration for me. And new skill I have learned today, Mr. Jay, when he was talking. So I learned that if you want to share great knowledge, be humble. And be modest, be grounded. That is the new skill I learned today. So this is very easy to write down. The third thing we need to write down in our journal is resilience. The first thing, did I face challenge or setback today? Second, what happened and how did I handle it? Third, what did I learn from it? For this, you can cross-refer your questionnaire, the questionnaire of 12 questions. The 12 questions can give you answer to this resilience part. The 3 levels, we talked about out of 60, whatever you scored. And this is how you can find out the problems or the challenges you have in your life right now. Optimism, how to develop it. Just write 3 good things that happened today. Something I'm looking forward for tomorrow. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end, you are the experts of checklist. Create your own audit checklist in the terms of hope, in the terms of efficacy, in terms of resilience, and in terms of optimism. Out of 5, how much you give yourself today. And the last final thought or insight of the day, you want to carry in your dreams. Do it for one day. At the end of the financial year, ladies and gentlemen, calculate your psychological capital. And you would be surprised, you would be happy, you would be mesmerized. You will understand that time actually what actual euphoria is. Because you know, when you are happy over here, you don't need any drugs, outside drugs. You don't need any psychedelics, because the body has lot of drugs over here, because that is the drug which it will generate so that you can be happy. Your psychological capital would be in surplus. And those who want to do self-learning in this field, I came across an initiative of Government of India, NPTEL, National Program for Technically Enhanced Learning, in collaboration with Swayam. So they have a lot of courses. And also, if you know someone, some students, some children who are lacking money, but they need knowledge, so refer them, the NPTEL and Swayam website. They have a lot of courses from different faculties, from different arenas, from different subjects. One subject which I'm sharing today is advanced course in organizational behavior. It is being provided by IIT Roorkee. The best part is it is free of cost for those who want to know, who want to gain knowledge. And if somebody is interested in getting certifications, so you need to spend only 1,000 rupees. So if you got benefit out of this program, I request you all pass on that to someone else. I would be more delighted. I'll feel that I'm successful today in adding something to your life today. So ladies and gentlemen, stay connected, stay happy, have a wonderful life. It was wonderful connecting with you all, and have a great smile on your face, just like our dear host, Madam Meenakshi, is having right now. And Madam Meenakshi, over to you now. Thank you very much.
Sir, thanks a lot. After listening to you, sir, this insightful session, we are truly reminded of power within each of us we have. Few lines for your session. A mind with strength, we rise and lead. A mind with strength, we rise and lead. Beyond the books, we plant the seed. Beyond the books, we plant the seed with hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism. We break the chain. A CA's or human true strength lies in the brain, lies in the brain. So that was the message given by you to all the professionals and humans in their life. We are truly glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we have few questions, sir, from our
Please, ma'am.
audience. I would like to take those. The first one is, please elaborate on importance of mindfulness.
Okay. Madam Meenakshi, do you know, the mindfulness can be spoken in 3 ways. The first, which you asked, MINDFULNESS, mindfulness. The second is mindfulness, FULLNESS. And the third one is mindfulness, MINDFOOLNESS. I believe you are referring to the first part, MINDFULNESS.
Right.
Thank you. Because if somebody is having mindfulness, if it is full, nobody can pour something in it. And if the mindfulness, then why to preach a fool? Someone taught me the knowledge should be passed on to the deserving. Because if somebody is full, they can't take it. As a layman, this is what we call as mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't mean doing only meditation. Mindfulness doesn't mean doing just yoga. Mindfulness doesn't mean just listening to some podcast. It doesn't mean as well listening to some soothing music on your mobile. It is beyond that. Mindfulness is an aspect, I believe, in Indian culture. First time when it was documented by Rishi Patanjali, when he wrote Ashtang Yoga. So Ashtang Yoga has got 8 limbs. Those who are interested, you can go and search about Ashtang Yoga. And the last 2 limbs, they are called sadhana and samadhi. Sadhana and samadhi. Sadhana means meditation, and samadhi means complete. Samadhi doesn't mean the foregoing your physical body over here. Samadhi is the phase where you have achieved a lot of things over here. For example, you have knowledge, you got education, you got the feeling that you have fulfilled your responsibilities, you have understood the emotions inside you, you have the factor of empathy for people, you have inside you the gratitude for everyone who have added something in your life. You have upgraded yourself in different dimensions. And the dimensions are your professional life, your financial life, your social life, your family life, your health life, your spiritual life. And also some material possessions which you wanted to. The material possessions are not bad at all, because they are the force which helps us to make and set goals. I bought a pen some years ago because I wanted to buy it, a fountain pen. When I was a child, I had a dream that I'll buy a fountain pen. I grew up and the dream was faded away. But one day the dream again popped in my mind. So I started working for it. I had an option that I can anyway swipe my card and buy the pen, but I gave myself a goal of 2 years. Every month I used to deposit something in my gullak. I waited 2 years and then I bought Meenakshi that pen. And whenever I look at that pen, it gives me that satisfaction, that contentment, which I couldn't have got it while just swiping the card. So material possessions are not bad at all. We need economic capital as well in our life. Money is very much required so that you can help someone, so that you can buy medical policy, so that you can buy clothes, so that you can pay for the internet we are using right now. So mindfulness also requires some financial aspects of your life. But yes, some, not everyone. Meditation helps you a lot to understand how to go towards the mindfulness part. But for the meditation part, I request you find a right guru who can give you guidance. Because meditation is a scientific technique. If you are listening to something and you are not aware how to do it, you might face some problems. After meditation, you start knowing yourself inside. And the day, Meenakshi, you know yourself inside, you have understood what mindfulness is, because now your mind is empty. Your mind is empty of many things. And the best thing your mind is empty is of tensions. Or I would say in my terms, the stresses, which we believe are actual the stress of our life. So as per me, Meenakshi, this is mindfulness, and there might be some other definition as well. And it is very important in our life.
True, sir, true. Second question is how to deal in maintaining my mental level during pressure.
Okay. Thankfully, in my second last slide or third last slide, I gave the answer. When I talked about journaling, the journaling part, although it covers the hope, but beyond it covered HERO, but just beyond the definition of hero, it covered many aspects. Example, when I feel pressure, I use a technique called think on paper. I think on paper and I start drawing my mind mapping. In the center of the paper, I write my problem, what I'm facing, and then I doodle. If you remember, we used to do the doodling in schools as well. So I doodle a lot of arrows, a lot of clouds, and then I go back in my life and I try to find out that what was the root cause. What are the root cause? And this is how I do the root cause analysis of my problem, because that problem is pressurizing me. Now, when I'm aware of the problem, when I'm aware of the root cause, now it is quite easy for me to find out the solution. And in terms of CA, I would say this is the forensic audit of yourself. So if you want to handle pressure, do the forensic audit of yourself, but along with SA 230, start documenting everything. Because human brain is such an amazing tool. It always believes in images because it keeps images inside. So give yourself the paper and pen solution. So that is the way I use to deal with pressure, Meenakshi.
Right. That will be helpful, sir. That will be helpful. The third question is, please elaborate the pursuit of happiness.
Okay. The pursuit of happiness, I gave a reference of a movie. Pursuit of Happiness is a Hollywood movie where the main protagonist, Mr. Will Smith, he portrayed the character of a great investment banker. I'm missing the name of the banker. And the challenges he faced in his life was even his wife left him. He had no money. He had nothing. Only one thing he had was with him was the dream machine he wanted to sell. And only one person was standing beside him was his son. There was a time when both the father and son duo, they used to sleep in the public toilets. They used to go to the public conveniences. And once I recall the movie, he was going for an interview, but before that day, he was arrested for traffic challan. And when he was coming to the interview, he was in the cloth, but it was like full of colors, distemper. So a bottle of distemper now was spilled on him, and he went to the interview in the same attire. But yes, confidently he faced the interview, and the result was amazing. He cleared the interview. And this is how his life started changing. And the moment he got the news that he has been selected for the interview, but the problem was the person said that I'll give you only the job, not the money. So he was offered the job without any salary. So he accepted that job because he wanted to learn client dealing and everything. And he did for a few months, and then he was offered a pay, and then he was offered a promotion. Then I believe he became a partner, and later on he became an iconic investment banker. So this is called pursuit of happiness. The real motivation, I believe, this movie portrays a lot.
Great, sir. Great. Now the last question is how to deal when there is a negative family environment.
Because this negative family environment, the dimensions are quite different for everyone. For example, if in someone's, not yours, sorry. So if in someone's family, someone is not listening to someone, it is also called negative family environment. I'm the youngest child of a joint family. Since childhood, everybody used to say, you are the youngest, chup raho tum. I thought it was a negative family environment, but today I realized it was an environment where everybody wanted to protect me. That time, it was a negative factor for me. Then later on, many people joined the family, and then also I got amalgamated 15 years ago with I got amalgamated with a going concern concept. I got married 15 years ago. So I got amalgamated in the nature of merger. So my merged entity, sometimes she says, तुम्हें तो समझ ही नहीं आती है. I realized I have a degree. People, they do listen to me. And when she says, तुम्हें तो समझ में ही नहीं आती, I believe it's a negative environment. But later on, I realized that I was lacking empathy. She is a female, I'm a male. And for a male, it is difficult to understand female. For a female, it is difficult to understand male. And when I started understanding, she also started understanding me. We both started using empathy. In the initial years, we used to fight. Is it right if I'm using personal examples?
Yeah.
Thank you. So in the initial stages, we used to fight. I recall, I had a fight one day. We went to sleep. The entire night, we were just thinking in our mind ki agle din how to take the revenge. 3 days were wasted in that situation. Now we came to a conclusion. We signed an agreement between us that whenever we will fight, one person only will speak and the other person will stay calm. And do you know what the result of it? Our fight only lasts 5 minutes. Because after that person has spoken everything, either of the parties, we smile. And that smile becomes laughter. And seriously, this is what we are doing in our life. If you call it a negative environment, so we handle it in this situation. Now, there might be the negative environment that people are not understanding you. So request is don't impose yourself on people. Because when you start imposing yourself on people, then definitely nobody will listen to you and everything will be in negative sense. If you want to bring positiveness in the environment, then be the example setter. Be the one who is setting the example. If you want something from them, then first do that for them. Definitely, it will take time, but yes, the change will happen because change takes time and good change takes more time. So this is a simple way to handle negativity in the family.
Great, sir. Great. Each and every word shared by you is truly meaningful and deeply helpful for each one of us, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now it's time to extend a formal vote of thanks. So it has been such an honor as part of this wonderful webcast, Mind Over Matters, Empowering CA with Psychological Capital, organized by Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICI. On behalf of the professionals, on behalf of this Skill Enrichment Committee, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, Shri Govind Mishra sir, for this enlightening session. A wide round of applause and thanks to the organizer of Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICI. Today our speaker, Govind sir, as well as Jay sir and Vice Chairman Abhay Chajed sir and also the Sambit Mishra sir has made this webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all of you who is present here and helping us make this webcast a great success. Thank you, each and everyone who is present here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honored to be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
With this, we conclude the today's session. Thanks to all.
Thank you.